On your feet! Get them going!
Holy cow, I'm huge. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Why is this happening to me? And I can't get my... Hi, everybody. Welcome to Cross Examinations Live. I know my face is ginormous right now, but please bear with me while I try to figure out exactly why my Logitune is not working. Task Manager, Logitune, End Task. Let's turn off Reflector too while I'm at it. How's everybody doing today? Today we're going to be talking about the Islamic Dilemma, which is... I've been watching so many videos on this. It's hilarious. I have for a while, but I don't really talk about it that much because I'm not an expert in Islam up close. And I know this is so annoying. I'm gonna try to get this to launch again. Please work. Thank you. That'd be great. There it's booting. It's booting. All right. Update now. Apparently I have to wait for Logitune to update. How's everybody doing? Let's say hi to the people in the chat. What is up? DJ Peterson was here first. The Islamic Dilemma. Ooh, I believe that's if the Bible is right, Islam is wrong. If the Bible is wrong, Islam is wrong. Either way you slice it, Islam is wrong. Yep. Tina's here. What's up? Hello. Arlene. Hello. Devil's Air. Oh, yes. Which is the one going to be about? I know of 3 dilemmas. Ooh, this is going to be a spacimitable. Melissa's here. Scroll down. Name Hex. Sup, peeps. Sup, Hex. Hi, Mike. Hello, Amy. DJ says, apparently the world thinks California's put avocado on everything, which we don't. That being said, if we did, I wouldn't complain. We kind of do, though. Not going to lie. This may take a few minutes. Why did I update it? Why? Why do I do these things? Caleb Chiaccelli. What's up, Jacob? Jacob? What? Caleb, up close and personal. And is that it? Nope. Cross examiners. I kind of miss these. I've just been sick and busy, man, trying to make this new art channel. Cool. Well, welcome, Name Hex. I know I need to get back to doing some art videos, but I've been like super busy doing other stuff. Too many oars in the water. Too many fingers in the... Too many chefs in the... No. Too many oars in the water. Is that right? I can't... Something like that. I was watching the King James Version debate Buddy Rabbit posted. It was worth it to get a grasp where King James only peeps come from. Can you... I was going to cease. Oh no. What's happening? Your browser has lost connection to your camera. Make sure you have the right camera selected and close any other applications that might be using it. Why? All right, maybe the update is rejiggering my camera. Anywho, now Mike is a cartoon. Indeed, I am of cartoonish descent. Okay, let's see. Let's click my device. Let's start cam. My background's not working. Image adjustment, focus. All right. Now apparently I need to reset my my background here. Okay, it's there. Why isn't it working? There. Which one you guys want to do today? This one? Let's do this. The old Japanese classroom back in. All right. Looks like that's working. All right. DJ says, just want to say that was really good of Brooklyn Lou to have that discussion with you yesterday. I was impressed with that discussion. It was very cordial on both sides. I have no disdain for Lou. I think he's a, good guy who just probably went through something horrible and that led him to reject his faith, because you could tell somebody said it in the chat yesterday. He just wants it both ways, right? The atheism and the agnosticism. Because I think I kind of caught him on the whole, are you agnostic about the flat earth thing? Right? Kind of put him back on his heels on that question. That wasn't, derogatory or anything. It's just, you got to have a standard here. You either believe something or you're agnostic about it. Right? Am I wrong? You either believe something or you're agnostic about it. If you take a position that you don't believe something, I then don't understand how you can still be agnostic about it. I've been thinking about this, and it's like he kind of just talks in circles around that point. And I want to give him the benefit of the doubt that, I understand there are people who say that. It's like I don't believe in a thing. Well, I guess his point is that disbelief isn't saying you believe there's no God. You just don't believe there's a God. I don't understand. Okay. I mean, maybe I'm too dumb to figure this out, but that's still, and I don't want to have another hour discussion about it, because I just to me it's a square peg in a round hole, right? Wait, Mike, you can think this is big news. Why do you come here, Devil's Air? Why? I just wonder. Lou was respectful, and I'm glad he came on, and I'll try to keep praying for him. Yeah. Atheism is a self-contradiction at cross examinations. Maybe that's the issue, name hacks. You can't be agnostic about the flat earth. Right? Or can you? Can you just be like, I guess you can be agnostic about the flat earth, but I think he wouldn't admit that he was agnostic about it. Or not that he wouldn't. I don't want to say that. He doesn't believe in the flat earth. Therefore, it's like using his same argument against, oh, yes, you're agnostic about the Trinity. Or what was he saying? Once saved, always saved? You're agnostic about once saved, always saved. No. This is what happens when you go full carnivore. Meat raging. Mike, scroll up. I had a question, and I know you have multiple Bibles in your house. Oh, early question, Mike. Does the English Standard Version of the Bible take away the thee and thou in the Bible? Yes. And replace it with easy, you and me? Yes. I'm looking to get one besides a second NCB. Yeah, only the early. I don't know what else besides the King James Version. There's probably I think there's a Catholic King James. Is there a Catholic King James? I'm not real hip on the whole Catholic thing, so I don't really know for sure. Musulmans, which is as much to say as a people faithful in their law or religion. Arab, Muslim, black. Is that because they lick the black stone? They lick the black stone. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. So let me give you a real quick rundown on the Muslim dilemma. For those of you who don't know, this is a I don't know if it's trending in a lot of circles, but I watch a lot of this stuff because, to me, Islam is the Antichrist religion. And so I really, and when the Bible says, come out of her, my people, I think it very well may be talking about Islam. Like there are people who think they believe in the one true God, but they're stuck in this false religion that claims that it is that it is from the one true God, but then obviously is not. The Islamic Dilemma refers to a theological argument. In Christian apologetics, it centers on the Quran's claim that the Torah and the Gospel, the Bible, are divinely inspired and preserved by Allah. Yet it contradicts them on key issues like Jesus' crucifixion. Critics ask, if the Bible was corrupted, why does the Quran affirm it during Muhammad's time? If it wasn't corrupted, why does Islam diverge from its teachings? This creates a perceived an inconsistency for Muslims to reconcile, which they cannot do without lying. However, there is a Islamic doctrine called taqiyya, which allows you to lie in order to further the Muslim cause. So the Muslim apologists you will hear arguing that this dilemma doesn't exist, or that the Quran clearly teaches that the Bible is corrupt. It does not anywhere. The Quran never teaches that the Bible is corrupt. It affirms the Bible over and over and over and over and over again. And the Islamic teachers who try to teach you otherwise, they're lying to you. If you're a Muslim and you're listening to an Islamic teacher, or whatever you call them, I don't even know, and they say that the Quran doesn't, especially if you read Arabic, and they're claiming to you that the Quran does not confirm the scriptures, go read it yourself. Go read. Don't. The Bible says, let God be true and every man a liar. I want Muslims to consider that. What is more true? This guy on YouTube you're listening to, or the Quran? And if this guy you're listening to is telling you that the Quran teaches that the Bible is corrupt, go to every single verse he brings up and read it for yourself. It never does. The Quran confirms the Bible over and over again. Actually, I think I have a couple here on this page I opened up. Key Quranic passages. Surah 5, 44 to 47. Indeed, we sent down the Torah. Now, we is who? In which was guidance and light. The prophets who submitted, judged by it to Allah, but judged by it for the Jews. And we sent following in their footsteps Jesus, the son of Mary, confirming what came before him in the Torah. And we gave him the gospel, in which was guidance and light, confirming what came before it of the Torah. And let the people of the gospel judge by what Allah has revealed to them. And whoever does not judge by what Allah has revealed, then it is those who are the defiantly disobedient. So right here in this last one, which is 547, the Quran demands it demands Jews to judge by the Torah, the Old Testament, and it demands Christians to judge by the Gospel, the New Testament. Now, if you're a Jew or you're a Christian and you judge by the Torah or the Gospel, you'll notice that the Quran contradicts both the Torah and the Gospel, and therefore the Quran condemns itself, because it says, you will judge me by this, and then you go and you read this and you're like, well, any rational judgment of this shows that you are a false teaching. And then the Torah says, oh shoot, Shouldn't have done that. But then what happens is the Muslims come out and they taqiyya all over the place, and they lie and they lie and they lie, and they say it doesn't say that, but it does. David Wood and Jai and Daughter of Christ and God Logic are making a whole document on the Islamic Dilemma with the verses needed. They are working on it as we speak. Yeah, I was just watching a David Wood video the last couple days. I haven't watched the whole thing yet. I'm almost done. But it's why Muhammad hijab can't answer the Islamic dilemma with Chris, Jai, and Doc. Who's Doc? But God Logic's there too. Is this one? But yeah, I've been because this guy Muhammad hijab, he goes and he tries to tear apart Wesley Huff's argument for the Islamic dilemma. It's like, good luck tearing apart Wesley Huff's. But he does it. What's his name? Muhammad hijab. He does it because there's two people on this panel that speak Arabic fluently, and he's just lying. That guy is just freaking lying through his teeth. Taqiyya, taqiyya, taqiyya. And that's the only way they can excuse it, right? It's like, I can lie because I am lying to support Islam. It's like, well, if Islam is true, then you shouldn't have to lie. I will never lie to support this. It would be a contradiction in the very meaning of being a Christian to lie to defend Christianity. If you have to lie to defend something, it's simply not true. Islam's Allah is the devil. I can see Muslim scholars uneducated in Christian scholarly work to merely presume the modern Bible is corrupt. But that's the rub. They get to catch up on their reading. Well, what they try to do, I mean, what this guy was doing at least, was he was arguing that the different translations contradict each other. Like those are translations. We don't base contradictions on different people's understanding of the word. We go to the word and we see if the word contradicts itself, and it does not. So, did anyone see the debate between David Wood and Robert Spencer debating the existence of Muhammad? Hilarious, but not for kids. No, I have not seen it. I'll probably stumble on it eventually. I watch this stuff all the time. Modern dawah is a joke anyway. Yeah, I don't understand the meaning. Is dawah just like Muslim apologetics, or is it a group of people on YouTube doing this stuff? Just like they can off the infidels because it's not their hand doing the deed, it's Allah's hand. Muhammad hijab is been beaten in Speaker's Corner. Also, Ali Dawa and Mansour all have been beaten in argument. With the strongest Christians there, like Bob, David, Orlando, all have won for them. Yeah, I listened to God Logic quite a bit. David Wood I've been catching up on. Sam Shamoon just freaking rips Muslims apart all the time. Who else do I listen to? Lately, I've listened to Cliff Nickley since the 90s. So I feel like I've got most of his arguments down pat anyways. Takia sounds like a food. Probably good with bacon. Takia? Sounds like taquito. Right? You gotta... Yes, Arlene, the Quran is wrong. Enough said. It is, however, not enough said. It must be hammered because like 2 billion people on this planet are deluded. And many deluded into so strong a stance that they will kill people who disagree with them. So it's really important that people do stand up and highlight the dilemma. We actually had a Muslim kid at our fishing on Saturday. And we started doing Bible study. He's like, "Oh no, I'm Muslim." I'm like, "Yeah, but you believe that the Bible or that the Torah and the Gospels are the Word of God, right?" He's like, "Yeah, well, then you should study it." He's like, "Well, I need to study the Quran first." I'm like, "Come on, man. Come on, man." That's obviously not what the author of the Quran thought, or the tafsirs. I don't know what. Oh wait. Well, they have shifted the goalpost to suggest that the Injil was not the Gospels, but a literal testimony sent to Jesus. Moses has the Torah, and Jesus needs to have the literal autograph himself. Now, that's obviously not what the author of the Quran thought, or the tafsirs. Right. That's right, because like modern guys, I was watching God Logic tear these two other guys apart the other day. They can't even say what the Injil was, but they say that it wasn't the Gospels. And it's like, you can't say what it was, but you can say what it wasn't. How does that make any sense at all? That's kind of like the agnostic atheist position. I can't say what created the universe, but I can say it wasn't God. Yeah, it's not. That does not logically follow. And anyways, when the Quran was given by Muhammad through the false angel, they talked about what the Injil was, what the gospel was in their hands. Between their hands is the phraseology they use. It means, it literally means this. The gospel and the Torah they have between their hands. It means the physical written word. And this was what, 600 AD? 500? 5 to 600 AD? What did they have? 600 AD. Oh, they had this. They had the Old Testament. This is the Torah, the Old Testament, and they had the Injil, the New Testament. That's all they had, and that is that. In that, just saying it in that moment of time locks it in. It cannot be anything other than what I just held in my hands. That is the gospel, or that is the Torah and the gospel. There's no other option. That it didn't just disappear after that time. They had it in their hands when Muhammad said those words, and whoever else wrote them down. Lock in. You can't get around that without lying. Takia, we're back to Takia. Ay. If they believe the Bible is the words of God, they should have listened to Galatians 1:8. Once again, I don't have the Bible memorized, so you're going to have to spit out Galatians 1:8. Devil's Air says, Quran, Angel Gabriel appears to Muhammad in a cave, chucks, slams him 3 times and says to him, read Bible. Gabriel appears to Mary. Be not afraid. You have been chosen by God to breed his son. Off writing, I'm going to go open up a taquilla stand. Little cheese, little salsa, big hit. Buddy Rabbit says, Injil's etymology literally comes from the Greek Evangelion. The problems get worse the deeper you dig. Is they were saying it in that video. It's the word they use for book when they did the Greek translation of the Arabic is biblios, and the Arabic word is, it just means book. So when they're talking about the people of the book, they're talking about me. They're talking about you. They're talking about Jews, the people of the book. And that's the book they're talking about. We know what the Gospels and the OT looked like by the 7th century. We know what they would have had in that area by the 2nd century, right? All rednecks says Buddy Rabbit knows too much. I'm pretty sure he is Grok. Galatians 1:8, which states, but even if we or an angel from heaven should preach a gospel contrary to the one we preach to you, let him be accursed. Yeah, I use that on Matt Weldon too. You can use that on Mormons, but they'll still deny it. Mac, you need to have the whole Bible memorized like Buddy Rabbit does. No, I don't. It'd be nice. I wish. Lord, put it in my brain. Download it. Plus, there was that one Muslim guy who went around gathering all the writings of the Quran, burning what he didn't like. What we have today is not even the complete work. Yeah, that was Suleiman, I think. Yeah, he had them collect all the variations of the Quran, and then through the magic of fire, he made there be only one variation of the Quran. Except there's two, because there was some people who were from another follower of Muhammad. I can't remember his name, who was very like Muhammad says, if you're going to learn the Quran, learn it from this guy, right? This guy has it memorized perfectly. And that guy, the follower of that guy, when it came to Suleiman's time to burn all the Quran, after he said, bring them all to me, I will make them all work together through the magic of fire. The other guy's like, oh, hell no. So there's actually two, at least, versions of the Quran. And most Muslims don't know that. Most Muslims think there's just one because homie burned all the rest of them. But no, there's two at least. Kitab. Yeah, that's it. Biblios in Greek is kitab in Arabic. That's the word I was thinking of. I thought it was kitab. Kitab. But he says, I don't have it memorized, but I'm relatively quick to find the reference. There you go. Caliph Uthman, not Solomon. Oh, okay. Caliph Uthman. Uthman. Not Solomon. Burn, baby, burn. That's right. That's how you merge all of the variations of the Quran into one. You just do it with fire. And now we have 25 plus Qurans as being shows of by Atun Tash in Speaker's Corner. Is there 25? Ubayy bin Ka'ab was named as the superior reciter. Ubayy bin Ka'ab. I have the tongue for a lot of accents and whatnot. I don't think I'm too good at the Arabic. Buddy Rabbit, I know you don't have Bible memorized. Only 3 people have it memorized. Chuck Norris, the guy from the Book of Eli, and Sam Shamoon. Right. So that's basically, let me see if there's anything else from, whoops. Oh, wrong button. Oh yeah, and then there's the variations of what happened, like in the Quran it says the dilemma arises when comparing the affirmation to key theological differences. For instance, the Quran denies the crucifixion of Jesus, Surah 4, 157-158, stating they did not kill him, nor did they crucify him, but another was made to resemble him to them. While the New Testament consistently presents Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection as central events, critics argue that if the Torah and Gospel were divinely preserved and authoritative, as the Quran claims, then the Quran's rejection of the crucifixion contradicts its own endorsement of these scriptures. Yeah, there's a, I don't have it here, but there is a verse in Quran that says point blank, God's word cannot be corrupted. Actually, let me look it up. Where does the Quran say God, Allah? Freaking stupid computer, stop chugging. His word cannot be corrupted. Surah 6:115. And your word of the Lord has been fulfilled in truth and justice. None can alter his words. He is the hearing and the knowing. And Surah 15:9 says, indeed, it is we who sent down the Quran, and indeed will be its guardian. Oh, actually, it says the reminder. Surah 18:27, and recite what has been revealed to you of the book of your Lord. That would be the Bible. There is no changer of his words, and never will you find in another than him a refuge. All right. Where am I? Stupid OBS freaking opened up. All right. Muhammad was convinced demons were speaking to him, but his wife convinced him it was God. It was a God, just not the one he thought. Well, Muhammad was right. It was demons speaking to him. Buddy Rabbit says, David just put a video out on what that verse says about the guardians over the books too. There's a couple good linguistically consistent interpretations of what that means, okay? But either interpretation winds up still sinking the Quran over this dilemma. Yeah, I just wish, and that's just my prayer. If you're a Muslim and you stumbled on this video, go seek out the arguments for the Islamic dilemma. And then again, just to repeat myself, because you can't get around the dilemma. And the people who are telling you that you can are lying to you. They are performing taqiyya in order to forward the message of the Quran. They are lying to you about the Quran to forward the Quran. Let that sink in past all of your brainwashing and past all of whatever you've been taught to, raised to believe. Whatever your family says, think long and deep about that. They're lying to you about the Quran in order to promote the Quran. Put your thinking cap on and meditate on that stark reality. All right, let's all right, let's get to the Bible. I'm actually going to read from Grok. I know some of you are going to hate this. Some of you are going to be like, don't use the AI. But I have found thus far that the AI in Grok is producing just such deeper stuff. Than the English translation. And it's all still coming from the Jews. It's coming from the Hebrew. So we're going to go this way. Awful Rednecks' Grok is just a tool, like a knife. And I had this one numbered so that if you want to follow along, there we go. All right. In readable prose, can I not blow this up higher? All right. Oh my gosh, that is blown up way too big. All right. Wait, Samuel, what? No. See, it gives you the meanings of all the words that are used that are being translated. Oh my gosh, I have this all the way at the top. Here. All right. Da, 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 da. But now, a blunt knife can still cut, I guess, with enough force. Well, hey, Buddy Rabbit, if you find anything to be incorrect in here, feel free. But now they mock me, men younger than I, mere boys whose fathers I would have spurned. Too lowly to tend my flocks. Even, ooh, that's harsh. The lowest of the low, like the youngest child is the one who would attend the flocks if you didn't have slaves. You didn't have slaves to attend the flocks. Your youngest, most useless family member would attend the flocks. So that puts a fine point on that. Unfit even to guard my sheep with the dogs. What worth was their vigor to me, the strength of their hands, when age had sapped their prime, their vitality withered like grass in a drought? Gaunt from want and gnawing hunger, they roamed the wasteland, gnashing at the dry earth, a desolate expanse, bleak and forsaken, a shadow of yesterday's ruin. They pluck saltwort from the scrub. I don't know what saltwort is. Tearing at bitter roots, scraps of scraps of broom bush. Scraps of broom bush their bread. Now I don't even know what that means. It's mallow. What's mallow? All right, buddy, you translate this stuff that I'm getting wrong while I go. A meager harvest from a cursed land. Cast out from the midst they flee, shouted off like thieves, driven beyond the edges of human care. In gullies carved by torrents they dwell, in hollows of dust and rock, caves their refuge, the earth's jagged embrace their home. Among the thorns they bray, their voices harsh and wild, huddling beneath nettles, beasts more than men, lost to dignity's light. Broom tree, okay. Sons of fools, spawn of the nameless, they are scourged from the land, whipped away, their mark erased, their existence a stain blotted out. Yet now I am their song, a taunt on their lips, a jest they weave into mocking tunes. My name a plaything for their scorn. They loathe me, shrinking back as if I were filth, spitting in my face, their contempt of venom that stains my honor. For he has unstrung my bow, loosened my strength, and humbled me low, stripping my reins. They rage unchecked, their malice unbound against me. On my right hand their brood rises, a rabble surging like a flood, thrusting their feet against me, trampling my path to ruin with cruel intent. They tear down my road, shattering my way forward, hastening my collapse, thriving in my calamity, needing no ally to crush me. Like a torrent through a breached wall they pour, under the wreckage they they roll. A tide of chaos drowning my stand. Terrors whirl upon me, chasing my dignity like chaff in the wind, my hope, my wholeness swept away as a cloud dissolves into the night. Verse 11's He is God. Verse 11's For He is God has unstrung my bow. Gotcha. Dissolved into the night. And now my soul spills out within me, poured forth in a flood of despair. Days of affliction seize me, their grip unrelenting, draining my marrow. Yeah, he capitalized. Yeah, he is capitalized. So, boop, it is, in point of fact, God. Draining my marrow. Night pierces my bones, and a relentless gnawing within. My sinews find no rest. Their ache, a ceaseless torment echoing through my frame. With mighty force, my garment is twisted, seized, and bound tight. It chokes me like a noose, the collar strangling my breath. He has flung me into the mire, cast me down until I am clay and dust. My form melded with the earth's refuse, indistinguishable from ash. I cry out to you, but you do not answer. My voice rises, and I stand waiting, yet your silence deafens me, your gaze unmoved. You turn cruel against me. With my strength, of your hand, you pursue me, a relentless foe pressing my ruin. You lift me to the wind, letting it hurl me forth, tossing me into the storm's roar, my frame dissolving in its tumult. For I know you will lead me to death, the house appointed for all living, the shadowed end where every breath converges. Yet does one not stretch out his hand in his fall? In his ruin, does he not cry for rescue, a plea from the depths of his breaking? Did I not weep for those in bitter days, my soul heavy for the needy, sharing their grief as if it were mine? I looked for good, but evil came instead. Waiting for light, I found only darkness, a shroud where hope once glimmered. My insides churn, boiling without cease. Days of affliction confront me, their weight a fire that consumes my peace. I roam, blackened, unsoothed by the sun, my skin charred by sorrow. I rise in the throng, crying out, my voice a wail among the silent. I am kin to jackals, brother to ostriches. My moans blend with their howls, a chorus of desolation in the wild. My skin darkens and peels. Bloody hell. Sloughing off me, my bones burn with fever's heat, a fire that sears my core. My lyre is tuned to mourning, its strings weep where once they sang. My flute joins the wailers, its notes a dirge for all I've lost. That reads so deep. I mean, I know it's like yes, I requested deep meaning, but man, is that just me or is that just I want to read the whole Bible like that. I really do. What did Arlene say? Mm-mm-mm. The youngest would learn to get tough at least. Yeah. I found Grok to be a very useful tool. Unfortunately, it can be a distracting waste of time when I start asking questions like, what would happen if Buford T. Justice tried to arrest someone? Okay. The word grok, meaning to understand profoundly and intuitively, was coined by Robert A. Heinlein in the 1961 science fiction novel Stranger in a Strange Land as a Martian world. Oh, that's where it comes from. That's interesting. I enjoyed it, Mike. DJ, is that a grok translation? Yeah, so what I did, DJ, is I said, I went to grok, and I said, I would like a word for word and thought for thought Bible translation utilizing the deepest possible meaning of the original words of each original word, and then written as readable prose. And it, like I said, it spit every time I do this. Here, let me present it again. Share screen. It not only does that word for word, thought for thought, deepest possible meaning for each word. It then gives me the meanings of each of those words, so that if I want to go to each word, it shows. It does a lexical. I don't know what you call it. It's not a bibliography. A lexicon, whatever. The amount of interpolated text throws me off. It sounds like a New World Translation. The verses are much longer. Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 times longer. Maybe 2, depending on the verse. It was like 2 to 3, 2 to 4 times longer. But man, it's so much deeper. It's like, because there's so much meaning in each Hebrew and each Greek word that when we translate it word to word, like the word agape, I used this before. The word agape, it doesn't just mean, the English translation is the word love. So a word for word, agape to English is love, right? But does that explain at all what agape means? There's like 7 different Greek words for love, and they're all just translated into the word love in English. So we lose so much in the word for word translation. Hey, it's Scott Kurtz. You might as well be a Tolkien scholar. Both are made up, and Lord of the Rings is way more interesting. Oh, Scott, you know that's not true. Isn't God in Dutch? I think so. Hold on a second. Scott Kurtz, ladies and gentlemen, creator of it's PvP, right? PvP. In here from X. Welcome to the show, Scott. It's been a long time. Been a very long time. All you guys could learn the Hebrew alphabet basics in 3 weeks, half an hour a day. A very useful tool. Dutch Uncle John Muir is an excellent source. 3 weeks, half an hour a day. Well, that's just the alphabet. You're not going to learn the entire Hebrew language. So what is the Islamic dilemma in Job 30? Now, it's a separate word. There's a dash. There's the Islamic dilemma. There's Job 30 deep translation. But Tina enjoyed it. I really do like it. I do like it. It's been a long, long time. I might just do the rest of Job with the deep translation, because I just think I get more out of it. And what do you guys think? You like that, or do you want me to go back to the King James? Or do you want to do some sort of a comparison? I mean, we could do a comparison. You want to just like real quick, like go verse by verse here and compare? Let's see. Let me do that. King James Bible Online. Now, it's funny, Scott, is that you know who would not say what you just said about Tolkien? Tolkien. I'm firmly in the camp of actual authorized translations personally. Authorized by whom? Man. Tolkien was devout, yo. Yep. Comparison when you can. All right, let's do the comparison. Let me see if I can just boom, put that up on that side. Then boom. What the heck is happening there? Shut up, me. How did that start? All right. Where is my... Oh my gosh, why is that going all the way back up? Job 30. All right. This is fun. I like being able to do the split screen. Oops, entire screen. Look at this. Oh. Also, I spent a ton of time in Tolkien lore. How dare you? go by the original scriptural heritage, according to the King James Version, only guy in that debate. All right, let's compare. King James Version. But now that they are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. But now they mock me, men younger than I, mere boys whose fathers I would have spurned, too lowly to tend my flocks, unfit even to guard my sheep with the dogs. Deeper meaning, win. Yea, King James. Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished? Deep meaning. What worth was their vigor to me, the strength of their hands, when age had sapped their prime, their vitality withered like grass in a drought? When might strength hands their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished? The strength of their hands, when age had sapped their prime, their vitality withered like grass in a drought. I kind of want to go to the text here. Two. Strength of their hand. Coach, strength, wasted potential. Kala, perished, vigor, decayed. Strength of their hands. I'd actually... Nah, I'm not sure, because these two do seem to conflict. Whereto might the strength of their hands profit me? Oh, no, they don't. That's right. Ha! Inu momo. I'm going to give it to deep meaning again. What was the deep meaning prompt again? All right, so I asked Grok, I said, I want a word for word and thought for thought with the deepest possible meaning of each word from the original text, be it Greek or Hebrew, written in a readable prose. As it was as simple as that. And then I asked for, on this latest one, I also asked for the verse numbering to be added. Buddy, I only got through the opening statements before cross-examine stream. I could tell the debate would go south real quick for him. Oh, wait. Oh, you're talking about the scriptural heritage thing. Okay, all right, let's go. 3. King James. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste. 3. Deep meaning. Gaunt from their want and gnawing hunger, they roam the wasteland, gnashing at the dry earth, a desolate expanse, bleak and forsaken, a shadow of yesterday's ruin. That just reads so much better. Sorry, King James translators, and I get it, there, and the Bible would be about twice as long. It would be at least twice as long if we did this. All right, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat? King James Version. 4. They pluck saltwort from the scrub, tearing at bitter roots, scraps of broom bush their bread, a meager harvest from a cursed land. All right, 5. King James. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. 5. Cast out from the midst they flee, shouted off like thieves, driven beyond the edges of human care. Interesting. Sorry, the dead 1611 translation committee people before standardized English grammar existed. Sorry, dead 1611 translation committee people before standardized English grammar existed. I'm not sure what you're saying. Or were you saying something earlier? Mike, probably a question for the Discord, but Why do you think Pilate still flogged Jesus even after he found no fault in him? He's a prick. I mean, I think the Bible says he did it to please the crowd. If I recall correctly. IRC. All right. I don't know. I think that's pretty freaking. I love that deep translation. And unless I know if you were gonna like publish a version of this with a deep translation, you would have to go through verse by verse and make sure that every verse is actually using the truest meaning of every word, in so much as you can when you are translating to make it readable prose and text. I mean, look, even the King James version. When you look at the King James version, every time you see an italicized word, they that are, that's not a word that's in the, that's them expanding the meaning of, or expanding a word to get the meaning of the word. So you already do this in the King James version. What we're doing with the Grok version, it's just we're using a much deeper sense of the meaning of each word, and so there's more explanation, there's more definition in each word, so it does, that's why it expands. But see here, they are, might, prophet, they were, all of these words are not word for word, they are added to get the context of meaning for the words. So it's nothing new under the sun that I'm doing right now, or that I'm having Grok do. I think people pressured Pilate. They really wanted Jesus wrecked. Yeah. Because Pilate was a politician. Not the answer I was expecting. Pilate did it to please the crowd. He washed his hands and did it for appeasement politically. Well, I mean, politically in what sense? I think you mean just to, it was a mob, to please the mob, right? And then when the Jews threatened him, basically by saying, we have no God but Caesar. Gosh, there was something else to that scene where it's like, this guy is doing something against your gods, right? He's saying he's God. And that would be a threat to, if that were true, which it was, that would be a threat to the Roman gods. No? I believe that's part of the case. He was afraid of the mobs shouting for Christ's death. He was trying to placate the mob outside, whom he didn't have enough men to control. True. DJ, I agree with Mike on it. The implication seems to be that Pilate was afraid the people would riot if he did nothing, but he couldn't condemn Jesus to death if he had committed no crime. Yeah. Pilate's job was to keep Roman order in Jewish province. A riot in Jerusalem wasn't worth the life of one peripatetic. I don't know that word, buddy. Teaching. I'm going to look it up after the stream. But also because Act 4 says God made it. Stop it. Next week's Thursday, I'm going to watch the Passion Play here in the Netherlands again. I might be able to watch your stuff, but it starts to 20:30 here, the Passion Show. So if you're early, I can. If late, not. Is all sin direct disobedience? No. Well, I was trying to think if there's a sin of commission, there's a sin of omission, but I guess those are both disobedient. That could vary, but that might be putting a fine point on it. Yeah. If you think about it, it kind of mirrors the Pharaoh not heeding the warnings. True. All right. Anyways, that's it for today. I hope you had a good show and enjoyed yourself. But time will tell. We do have to wrap this up. Please join us in the Discord if you would like to continue the conversation. If not, then we'll see you on tomorrow on the next exciting episode of Cross Examinations. No outro. Bye.